Hello and welcome to day 4 of the TT Daily Roundups with me, this time joined by Tom Birchall.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
Good, mate, yeah, spot on.
Right.
Enjoying life behind the lens. Oh, no, in front
of the lens. Yeah. You'll get used to it. Right, one thing we didn't touch on last night in the catch-up with Lee at the end, and funnily enough, all the sidecars were just coming in convoy after the accident up at Bishop's Court. Me and Lee didn't really touch on sidecars, so we thought we'd start today's daily roundup with sidecars. So let's look back on day number 3, which was that. Wait, are we at Q2 there or Q3?
Well, officially Q3, but the second time on
track.
Yeah,
right. Talk us through what we saw last night, because we saw some phenomenal stuff happening in the sidecars, and I feel it needs a little bit of analysis and a bit of depth put to it.
Yeah, it's proper eating up now. Two things really, two big points. The Crows, 118.8 from a standing start. That is on the money. It's only the second time on this circuit this week, really.
Yep.
Track's still green. Glen Ellen didn't look very nice. There's a few bits and bobs that aren't perfect with the circuit. So to do that lap time, they're very comfy, very happy, and it bodes well for their race. Then you've got Birchall Rousseau. They are just chipping away, and I genuinely didn't think we'd see the lap time that we did from them last night. But to fire in a 118.2 on what will be their 4th proper lap together around this course, that's impressive.
I spoke to Kevin up at the RI stand, getting his helmet sorted out. First time, he said, that he's gone through the grandstand on a flying lap.
Yeah,
every other time he's had a breakdown or he's stopped.
Pulled in or something, yeah. That's an eye-opener, getting to the bottom of Brea.
Yeah, so like that brand new experience for him.
Yeah, it just shows his professionalism and his commitment, because Ben's just ramping it up, bringing him on, and he's just dealing with it. He's just eating it up, and he loves it. I spoke to him last night, and he's buzzing. So there's more to come from them, definitely.
Yeah. More to come from Pete and
Birchalls. Founds and Jevon. They've set out as favourites, haven't they? That's what we all sort of called them as, favourites. And they're not having such a good time of it at the minute. They're not. They're down on top speed, way down. Been caught by Crow last night and passed, and then he started to stretch away, did Crow. Then he pulled in as they came through, so he just did the one lap. But then Pete and Jevon stayed out there and then had a breakdown. So it's not really going to plan. I spoke to Pete, and he's not dead keen on the new Uzier tyres, and he was struggling to find a setup. And then I spoke to Jevon this morning, and they're just a bit like, how do we find 10 mile an hour on the speed traps? But I've got a bit of a trick up the sleeves, a bit of a card to play yet. They're not running proper race engines. They're only on like the practice stuff.
Right.
So hopefully they get a few extra mile an hour. But it's building.
Where's that top speed to be found then? Is it on gearing? Is it on conditions? Or is it on just the sheer power
Probably
of that
just
engine?
the sheer power of the engine. I mean, they're all on Hondas, but depends on what state of tuning, how much money they've got to put into them. Ben's kit is absolutely mega. So is the Crows. Maybe Pete and Jevon haven't quite got the budget to compete in that way, but we don't know yet because they haven't got the proper race engine in. And the gearing thing, they should have it dialed in by now.
Yeah.
They should know what they're running. Other guys to note, there's Crawford and Hardy. They had a year out last year. They're back. Really good showing so far. They were 4th overall last night. 112.9, 987 from a standing start. That's really good.
Yep.
And then you've got the current world champions, Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement. First time here. Not really rode that bike very much either. And already up to like 110.8.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
I spoke to them, funnily enough. I spoke to them on the podcast this morning, and they've still got plenty to come from them. And Todd's really happy.
And they're just doing they're going about it the right way, just sneaking towards them lap times. They're not going mad at it. And there doesn't seem to be much buzz around that team at the minute, so that's good. They're flying under the radar, you know what I mean?
I think you need that. Coming as newcomers, if you think all the way back to when Glenn Irwin came, there was so much pressure
attention
on him. But yeah, like you say, they're just going about the business in a professional and methodical way.
Just like you and you're presenting.
Exactly. So Thomas, what I think we should do tonight is, it's the same again. We've got Superstock, Super Sport and Superbike, and then we've got sidecars.
Yep.
So I say me and you head out to a part of the island, and if you could choose any part of the island, where would we go?
The pub.
All right. Well, we'll do that after we've been to McGuinness's and the bottom of Bagaro.
Definitely. No, mate, that is where the magic happens. That's where the real nitty-gritty of the TT unfolds. Let's go. What? Not now? Now?
So Chris and Tom are already on the way out to get some footage tonight out on trackside, but I've managed to grab Davey Todd for a quick 5 minutes before he gets ready for this evening's practice. First of all, you are currently the fastest man around the TT this year so far. How's it going? How do you feel? And what changes are we going for tonight?
Yeah, mate, it's insane really to be the fastest guy so far. I'm sure that's going to change and people are going to go faster every night, but the times that we're doing so far, I was pretty shocked when I came in and the boys said we did a 1:31.8 because the funny thing is we'd actually gone the wrong way with the setup like I was telling you earlier. And the guys thought I was actually joking that we'd gone the wrong way when they thought, you know, I've obviously done that lap time, it's going to be better. But no, we went the wrong way, so that bodes only well. I think we'd be able to make steps and go in the right direction from now on.
Yeah, so that was fully down to setting, not the weather conditions. You said the weather conditions were a little bit, still the track was a little bit damp in spots, but a lot better than Monday night, I think.
No, 100%. I would say there's still so many damp spots. Like the last sector coming through Governor's Dip and stuff was so sketchy. It was so damp and dirty under the trees there that I've just been really cautious through there and losing a bunch of time to what I should be doing really through there. But it's only practice. We've got plenty of days ahead of us. It's not racing yet, so just taking it step by step and seeing how we get on really.
Yeah, cool. So the other big question we've been asked quite a lot on here is the Ducati. It's a long time since somebody's been here on one, and especially on one that's capable of being at the front. How does that feel? Were you anxious maybe coming before and wondering, like, we know it's a really good short circuit bike. It was definitely good enough to do the job at the Northwest, but that's not really comparable to here, I think, setting wise. And how's it felt first night of practice going out there? How was it and how is it now?
Yeah, so it was, no, I wouldn't say daunting. It was sort of an exciting feeling, really, getting to bring the Ducati V2 here. Knew it was going to be a bit of a challenge, having no data whatsoever or nowhere to start and just sort of winging it as it would be. The guys have done a fantastic job. The first time I rode it, honestly, thing was pretty nervous. It was quite a handful around the TT course and pretty lively, but came in.
Was that straight from a Northwest setting, or did you go back to a British Championship setting, or
No,
is that the same anyway?
We were still running a pretty similar Northwest setting. Made a couple of changes to the bike, but obviously changing to like a TT fuel tank was a big part of it. Shifting the weight forward on the bike changed things a little bit, so made some changes anyway. Made the thing hella more stable and feeling a lot better. So we're still making steps in the right direction, but we're learning every step of the way.
Cool. And predictions for tonight? Are you going to give us a lap time or anything that we can say, or how are you feeling?
Honestly, I don't know. It really depends on the conditions. I did a bus lap this morning with some guests from Duke, and the conditions, believe it or not, actually look a lot better than I've seen them so far. A lot of the damp patches are actually drying up, better than we've seen them on track. Other than that, the wind is blowing. It's still blowing quite hard. I thought it was a little bit worse. It feels a little bit worse than yesterday. Yeah. We can only wait and see when we get out there. You got to ride to the conditions, and obviously remembering it's still practice.
Yeah, well, we're not going to keep you any longer. We're going to let you go and get ready, but thank you very much and good luck tonight.
Cheers, mate.
Perfect place to wrap up the daily roundup. Lee Johnson, we heard a rumour that you've been down to see Davey Todd today.
Yeah, first interview. Not going to lie, I was a little bit nervous, definitely more nervous than Davey was, but yeah, it was good. He was open and honest. He's looking forward to riding his motorbike. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen.
Tonight,
Or it hasn't happened tonight.
hence why we're eating these. Yeah, there
gonna
was
have
I thought that was a headline then about Davey retiring from TT or something. Oh, what?
That's it. Davey's done. He's had so much fun. He's done. But yeah, there was an RTA up on the mountain about an hour before the roads were supposed to close. Multiple vehicle pile-up, and by the time the emergency services had kind of cleared everything and got it all, the track prepped again, it would have been too late. Potentially the sidecars might have got out on their session, but it was better to just almost scrap today and start afresh tomorrow. So tomorrow we go again. So we go 12 o'clock roads closed, and we've got a full qualifying session.
Yeah.
And then I think we've got about an hour and a half off, and then we go again. So my question to you, Tom, and you said exactly the same as your brother did at the same time, the sidecars won't go out in that second session, but that was before tonight got cancelled. So will they go out and get the time on track that they need, or on the course?
Problem is, most of the teams will run practice engines through the week, and then for race day they want a fresh race engine in. So they would use the Friday as just to run the engine in and put it to bed, ready for Saturday.
The new one.
The new one.
Yeah, right.
But at what level would that, like the top 10, the top 15, like, you know, there's going to be a cut-off point where some guys...
Yeah, don't need to do that budget-wise, etc. I would have said maybe at least top 5.
Yeah.
Let's say top 6, top 5. Yeah, so it's not the whole field. We're going to definitely get bikes on track, but now we've lost tonight's session, that's sort of knocking on. They need the time on the bike still, but then they haven't got the time to change engines in between sessions and run it in the last session of the Saturday race. So they're going to have to make a choice. They either change the engine Friday night after they've done the 2 sessions and hope everything's all right and just go to the line Saturday, or they just do the first session tomorrow and run an engine in, skip the second session.
Let's go back to Davey Todd then, because you didn't really give us any juicy goss. What is the goss from the Todd camp? Is he in good spirits? Does he seem a little more upbeat after how he did in that previous qualifying session when he topped the timesheets in both Superstock and Superbike?
Yeah,
a little more
we
confidence?
were we were down at the camper, so he's chilled out. We're good friends and stuff, so we were chatting a little bit before, and he seems really relaxed. Yeah, and I think a little bit of that comes from, this is not me, I'm proud to be where I'm from, but he's in a Northern Ireland team, and the lads are good lads. There's good, we call it crack at home, there's good crack in the team and good banter, and I think that's a big part of Davey likes that, his attitude likes that. So I think that's obviously he needs good bikes to do the job, and the guys work really hard, but on the other side they're a bit more laid back and they've got a lot of experience, you know what I mean? So
sociable guy, you know, he likes that interaction, like you say, a bit of crack. And nothing better than getting off your bike and your mechanic going, yes mate, that's awesome, is it?
Yeah, I was in there doing a feature with Milwaukee, and Denver was saying that the mood in the team has he said he's probably never been as good as it has been with
and
Davey.
that comes from results as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's all right being a good person, but you still have to, you're employed to do a job, and that on the back of it is good. He's been winning loads, he's coming here full of confidence, the team's full of confidence, so it's a dangerous combination for everyone else.
What do you think about, obviously he had that great big crash, got took out of the Northwest, didn't he? Do you think he's carrying a bit of an injury, or?
I don't think so. Davey's pretty honest guy, and he would say, do you know what I mean? He's not one to try and, there's 2 ways to look at it. Some guys would put an injury on to try and take a bit of pressure off, and other guys would try and hide one to not give the others an advantage. So there's like 2 ways of, but yeah, he's a pretty honest guy, but he hasn't said anything to me, so I believe he's in good spirits, and he won the race straight after the crash. So yeah, I think he's on good form.
So when we meet up tomorrow night, what do we think we'll be talking about? Lap times? Amount of laps that was completed? Where do we think the times will be? So if we come to sidecars first, do you think they'll be any faster than they've gone?
Yes, I do, because it's starting to build. There's 3 of them like in the fight now, isn't there? And each, doesn't matter, sidecar, solo, whatever, you still want to be quickest at the end of the week.
Yep.
You know, that's just a racer's point of view, that's just a racer's way of going about it. So yeah, I seen the Crows earlier on, and we did a bit of an interview with him and just talked to him after, and quietly confident, he knows he can do more. He wanted to run through on the second lap on the Wednesday night, but he had Founds behind him, so he didn't want to show him his lines. So he said, right, I'm pulling in. But he knows he's got more in the tank. So same with Ben and Kevin. They're just chipping away, just moving forward through the week. and they don't want to knock it on the head now. They need a real good standing start lap because they haven't done one of them yet. They've just built into it. So the flying lap on the Wednesday night was good, 118.2. If they can bring that on a flying lap, a standing start lap, you know.
Yeah, like if it's going to be close like that, there's no point doing a 1:16 first lap and giving the guys 10, 15 seconds. You know what I mean? Then you're done. You're not going to pull that back if everyone's on that record pace. It's just not possible.
And then solos, just give us a prediction or an estimate of where you think lap times will be. I spoke to Plater.
I'm going to say, well, Davey's ideal was a 32.8. So it's going to be in that bracket.
Yeah.
I think 32s, 33s. It depends on if we've no rain tonight and it says dry again, then that's another good thing. And a few of the guys were out. James Hillier and stuff spoke earlier. They've been out for a look around the track, and it's now it's dry. Like for the last few evenings, it's been damp patches and just not proper, like 100%. But he said today it's proper dry. So if that falls into tomorrow evening or tomorrow day, and we've no rain tonight, I reckon we're on for at least 1:33.
Right, in the comments down below, let us know your predictions of lap times by the end of Friday qualifying as we head into the first, can you believe it, the first race day of TT 2024. It's crazy. Lee?
I'm making a mess.
He's making a mess. Tom, you're a bit more tidier than he is. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button, and we'll see you tomorrow.